So wait. You mean to tell me that if a brown person wears a shirt that says brown pride on it, it's not racist? But if a white person wears a shirt that says white pride on it, it is? And I'm considered the idiot for questioning such idiocy and get called racist epithets like Uncle Tom by people claiming to be angry about racism? Yeah, this is how stupid racism is.
I think what's happening. Propaganda.
Many of y'all already know that a couple things I deeply dig doing is music and martial arts. Ballistics, joint manipulations, punch, kicks, locks, throws, mud and blood, and anything goes. Now, I'm not saying I'm a great fighter, but I really enjoy the practice of human-to-human combat. That being said, I never really caught on with the whole UFC MMA thing. I couldn't get excited about this new idea of martial arts being mixed. That wasn't really new to me, because how we were trained was to be so scrutinizing of movement that we could take one system and find out what their forms were suggesting. We discovered that all the cross-training mixed system stuff was kind of frivolous. We weren't against it, we just saw that when you really look closely, you see that a lot of systems are suggesting a lot of the same things. They're just suggested in different ways. Strikes with different aspects of the extremities, ergo the various striking surfaces of the fist or hand, elbows, knees, feet, suggestion for joint manipulation, suggestions for throws. And then we see how these kinetics could be applied whether standing up or on the ground. We didn't focus too much on ground fighting because ground fighting on asphalt ain't the same as fighting on a mat. And if you train how to minimize your oscillations and not succumb to being top heavy, you can stay on your feet more effectively. One of the selling points with MMA are all fights go to the ground. And there's a lot of truth to that, especially if you're one who hasn't trained their stance to be able to support the inertia of your strikes. A lot of times fights go to the ground because people throw themselves off balance. We trained hard to stay on our feet because in the street, you don't always get the luxury of just ground fighting with one person while scraping your elbows on the hard floor. Chances are that person has a friend or just some knucklehead who can't contain their testosterone and wants a piece too and starts stomping you in the face while you're trying to work out that arm bar. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want to get in the ring with a person who has a career in ultimate fighting. But that's not my point. But consider what I had said earlier pertaining to racism. I remember almost getting into an altercation with a dude, and as the words got heated, he ended up saying, "What, you think you can kick my ass because you're black?" Y'all, speaking for myself, I don't assume that my skin color gives me some magical ability to beat up anybody who isn't black. If I do feel a sense of security with my ability to fight, it's because I was trained, and such racial complexes do exist, and they're also in the UFC. For example, a concern has been expressed by Michelle Ould, who is being called a racist because she called out a double standard. Why is it that people can wear brown pride shirts and wave flags and whatnot, and of course we hear the hateful mainstream lyrics of rap artists, but if a white person were to wear a shirt saying white pride, it's racist? Personally, I think ethnocentrism is just stupid. If a person is wearing a fill in the blank with your ethnicity pride shirt on, I'm just gonna be thinking, you're a jackass. I don't care what ethnicity you are. There really are just better things to put on your shirt, you know? But for too many people, it's acceptable if any ethnicity does it except white people. Why? Does it make you nervous or something? Is it a threat to you or something? Because if that's the case, you're admitting that whites are stronger and smarter than you. Why would you be threatened by someone weaker and dumber? Don't get me wrong, stupidity is dangerous too, but this is different. By your apprehension, you made that white person superior to you. They didn't. Are you telling me that your skin ain't thick enough to handle somebody saying, proud to be white? I'm not saying whites should wear such shirts. I'm not saying anybody should. It's ultimately an exercise in divisiveness in such an insecure culture. But if people are going to do it, then it should be equal for all. That's what we want, right? Equality? And if a brown person can boast brown pride, but a white person can't boast white pride, then that's not equality. People of non-white ethnicities can get away with doing this, but people of the white ethnicity can't? You don't even see that you're part of a system to keep another race down. You've become the monster you hated, and you think you're justified, right? Yeah, racist white Americans, mainly Democrats, did too. And you're both wrong. People being proud to be white is not a threat to me. It doesn't intimidate me like it intimidates you. You can say that because white folks love you, Zo. Really? Every white person knows me? That's dumb. Now, I know what y'all are saying. Whites shouldn't be allowed to express white pride because of their history. I think most people will admit that all white people aren't racist. But y'all, please think about this. We all have this nightmare of racism burned into us in America. And it's not because of slavery. If it was just slavery, people would be afraid of blacks just as well as whites because Africans sold the slaves in the first place. The reason why we're haunted to this very day about racism is because of Democrats. Al Sharpton is out there to this very day because of the damage Democrats have done. Now he's totally loyal to them. And why not? In a weird way, they're the ones who lit the fire under his purpose. When people think about racism, they see the horrible image of the KKK. Well, they were Democrats. They think about white men with hoses and dogs, but they were Democrats. They think about church bombings. Yet when I remind them of these things, they accuse me of dwelling on the past, when they're the ones who refuse to get over it. Proof positive, Michelle Ould, for example, can't even point out a double standard because of what mainly Democrat whites did in the past. And while these same people keep dwelling on such a racist past, they're now loyal to the Democrats, the actual culprits of the racist past, and make excuses for them and assert bogus cop-outs. So if you see a person that has a shirt on that says proud to be white, that really shouldn't bother you. But if you see a person wearing a shirt saying proud Democrat or liberal, well, there's your white devil, or brown devil, or black devil, etc. Because they've all teamed up to be a part of a system of oppression. I'm Alfonso Rachel with ZoNation, reminding you that it's great being proud of your ethnicity. But if you think your ethnicity makes you better, then you're a jackass. There really are just better things to put on your shirt.